Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 3 of the Arlington Angle. I am Coley with a K, here with Tim Halley, Caden Hope, and Jack Carden. And we are going to be talking about a variety of topics here today on the Arlington Angle. Today is the wonderful Friday, February 7th, 2025. And yeah, this is episode 3 of our ongoing video podcast. These will all be posted onto Arlo Strive's YouTube channel, so you can go back through the archives and watch previous episodes after they have been aired. These will air every Friday, and we will keep this series running as long as we have our Broadcasting 2 class throughout the semester. So, to highlight what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to go over quickly how things have been shaping up around Arlington and how our sports teams are doing in the nearing the end now of the winter season. We're going to be talking about some Super Bowl predictions from Tim. Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Going to be a good one. We're going to talk about the Grammys for Jack. Going to talk about how things shaped up there. And to cap things off, we're going to be discussing the NBA trade deadline and some big trades that are sure to shake up the NBA near the deadline that happened yesterday. So we'll start things off with the biggest thing that happened at Arlington. Was the girls basketball team is Nebraska Capital Conference champions for the first time in 23 years. Amazing feat. But yes, round of applause. Fantastic stuff. Shout out to Britt Nielsen, who's running our audio right now. Big force in that overtime victory over UTAN on Saturday. It was a fantastic game. Eagles came out in force, and it was amazing and such an achievement, and I'm sure the girls will be taking that momentum into the rest of the season as we get down to the wire and as district seeding becomes more and more important. We had the boys won the third-place game against Syracuse to place third on the boys' side of the NCC tournament, and we had the Music Boosters Soup Supper on Monday, and that was a huge success. Thank you to everyone that came out and supported our Arlington Fine Arts programs. On Monday, for the Soup Supper, we had our middle school and high school bands and choirs put on a lot of performances. And then now the biggest thing in the fine arts is going to be our musical, The Music Man, is going to be showing March 21st and 22nd. We'll keep highlighting that as things go. So now, let's swing things over to Tim, who's going to be talking about the Super Bowl from New Orleans on Sunday. Tim, what do you got for us?
This Sunday, as you all know, we got the biggest event in America almost every year. It's the Super Bowl. Chiefs versus Eagles, rematch from 2 Super Bowls ago. Should be a solid one. First, before we do predictions, I want to ask, what's everyone's favorite Super Bowl commercial ever?
Go ahead.
It's got to be the Mountain Dew Kickstart one. The
Puppet Monkey Baby?
Yeah,
That's mine too. That was a good one. Puppet Monkey Baby.
I think my favorite one would be the what was it? The 50 years of the NFL, where they had like the cake and they had the football fall off the cake and then a foam ball and then they like scrum for the bat. That was good. And then Tom Brady like halfway through was like, "Hold my rings," and he just like hands a dude like 7 rings.
Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. Yep. That was one of my favorite ones. A real legacy commercial to showcase all this great stuff that's happened in the NFL over the years. So that's mine.
I think my favorite commercial would be that video of Kanye where he's just in his car on his phone because he used all his money for the actual commercial.
The commercial and they didn't have any production. Yeah.
That one was good.
Which shows how insane it is that how much money it costs where Kanye couldn't afford production because he had to pay millions of dollars to even get a 30-second ad for the Super Bowl, which shows how big the event is and how important it is to the American public and the American media. Next, I'd go to this is Tom Brady's first year as an announcer, and he's going to be on the Super Bowl. And I say he's grown a lot as an announcer. Us in broadcasting class, we kind of tap into that. Colby and Caden, of course, are experts on this with their Strive work, and Britt and guys and people like that in Strive. And it's going to be interesting to have a guy with that. I hope he taps into more of his insight in the game. I feel like he's tried straying away too much from his experience. And when you're the greatest football player ever, I think I want to hear those stories all game. That's what interests me.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things that I think about when Tom Brady's announcing would be just like you said, using those insider stories, and I know he worries a little bit about using going so deep into defenses that no one can understand what he's talking about. Because when you're talking about cover 52, blitz 5, right 9 or 11, no one knows what that means except for Tom Brady and some of the elite quarterbacks in the league. And then I know he's gotten a lot of backlash for did you hear the comment he gave to I don't remember who it was. I think it was Josh Allen, where Josh had a chance to just throw it deep to the corner of the end zone, and he just threw it out of bounds. And Tom Brady was like, just let that fly to the end zone. They'll catch, your receivers got to catch that. It's no one's catching that, Tom. I don't know what you're talking about, but I think he's really gotten better over the games, and I'm excited what he brings to the Super Bowl.
I just think Tom Brady's overhated. I mean, I get some people don't know the coverage and stuff, but if there's true football fans that understand that, and I think just from the experience, he's 7 Super Bowls. It's a lot of experience to bring to the table. Now he's commentating on a Super Bowl. I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Also, while we were talking about commercials, I just looked it up. It is $8 million for a 30-second commercial in the Super Bowl in 2025. It has risen. In 2022, it was around $6.5 million, and then 2023 and 2024, it was between $7 and $7.5 million, and now it has cleared the $8 million mark.
That's insane.
One of the funniest ones last year, I think, was the Tubi one. When
Tubi
you're watching the game, when I
is.
saw it, I thought, oh, did someone sit on the remote or something?
That one got
Oh
me.
yeah, the one where it was it just went black a screen, and then you
Yeah.
thought I turned my TV off or something, and then it was they pranked us.
Now let's get into the predictions. I predict, I think it's gonna be 30-24 Chiefs. I think Saquon will go for a true 200 yards, but about 60 of it will get called back. Just how it is. Probably three touchdowns for Saquon. I mean, I don't know, because they get to the goal line, they don't give their running backs touchdowns. They run that tush push, which is the dumbest thing ever. Saquon should have had 30 touchdowns this year, but I think Chiefs will win. Just how it is. They win football games, but it'll be a good one. I think Saquon will prove that he's the best running back in football. I just don't think Jalen Hurts has what a quarterback needs to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
All right. Gosh. I was right in my championship predictions. I predicted Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, and that's exactly what we found ourselves having.
Same here.
Now, as much as I think that the script says the Chiefs are going to three-peat, I'm going to go away from the script. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles get the dub. I'm going to say Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley get their first Super Bowl rings, and Patrick Mahomes is kept off of that top shelf of elite of the elite of the elite quarterbacks that have been in the National Football League. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me them by a touchdown, but more specifically, we'll say 32-25.
For my predictions, I'm gonna agree with Colby on this one. I'm gonna go with the Eagles, simply just because I think the Eagles' run game is too deadly for the Chiefs to handle, and I people seem to say that they have a good run defense, but most of their defensive line are pass rushers. Wow, and I think Jalen Hurts, I think he's gonna prove yet again why he's a good quarterback, like he did last Super Bowl. He played amazing in that last Super Bowl, and he just continues to get disrespected. So, my final score prediction is going to be 30-20 Eagles.
Now, I agree with Colby and Caden. I think that the Eagles are going to be able to pull it off, hopefully. I don't really want to see the Chiefs win 3 years in a row, as much as some people might.
And
I don't think anybody does.
Disclaimer here: I don't
Fair
want to
enough.
see the Chiefs win ever again in my life.
No,
So
you're picking with your brain and not your heart. I admire
I'm not
that.
picking with my heart, but I've watched too much of them this year to pick against them. Too much of their close games that have miraculously flags go.
I think
flying
that
around
was
the
it the first time that they scored over 30 or 31 points was in the playoffs was against
think
Josh
so.
Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
My final score, I would say 30 to, let's go 24.
Vice versa of me.
yeah. I like it. I think the Chiefs definitely have a great shot, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I think America's rooting for the Eagles, though. I think you're on your own here, Timmy. All right. Let's swing things over now to Jack, who's going to talk about one of the biggest music events of the year, the Grammys. Jack, what do you got for us?
So recently we had our 2024 Grammys. Now, I don't normally watch the Grammys, but I normally just hear controversy and stuff from afterwards. This year was kind of the same. I didn't really watch it, but I heard a lot of the controversy that happened regarding it. Now, regarding outfits, there wasn't really too many special outfits besides for Jaden Smith with the big black castle on his head.
Or that one, what was her name? Chaperone? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
there's
something,
also
yeah.
controversy
Mhm.
outfits too.
And regarding awards, Beyonce won Best Album of the Year and Best Country Album of the Year, which that has a lot of controversy around it just because I had never even heard of the album or any of the songs, but she still managed to somehow pull it off. And some people say it could have been because money, and they could have given money just for that award. But who really knows? Another award was Kendrick Lamar. He won 5 awards with a diss track against Drake. It was kind of being played all throughout 2024. You kind of heard it everywhere. And it was kind of just impressive that one song just to end the diss, because 5 awards. And you also had Chappelle Rowan, we talked about earlier. When she won her award for Best New Artist of the Year, she went up on stage and had a lot to say about labels and how labels like to disregard new artists and not pay them good wages, and how the music industry can just be really mean and just unfavorable. And a lot of people are saying that Billie Eilish was robbed. They say that when she lost her award, they immediately cut the cameras to her crying, and a lot of people say that that just shouldn't have happened. That was just unjust.
What did she lose? Like, what was she hoping to get?
I'm not sure the exact award, but
Because it wasn't new artist. Because she's been around for a couple years.
I thought
I have
maybe it was
no clue.
album of the year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Album of the year, yeah.
That
Well, with
sounds
the
right.
Beyonce thing, it's like her husband runs the music industry. Jay-Z runs music.
That's fair.
Like it's and that industry year after year proves that it's not the most skilled, it's not the most liked, it's whatever they want to push, whatever agenda they want to push. And with the Kendrick Lamar song of everybody knows what the basis of it is. I'm not going to say what it is, but for someone like Beyonce and Jay-Z to be celebrating that, knowing what they're going through right now, it's very hypocritical. They all go on their big higher shelf than everybody else and go and celebrate about all these awards, but we know that the people know that the artists that should win it aren't winning it.
Yeah. I'm seeing Billie Eilish also lost Song of the Year. Now, I'm not going to talk about this. Personally, I am not a Billie Eilish fan.
I couldn't tell you.
I-
I listen to every single.
I've heard Birds of a Feather. It puts me to sleep every time. But Billie Eilish, what she's done for the music industry has been amazing. She's promoted a lot of that. I know she's encouraged a lot of new artists, and that's really, really important for the music industry. So kudos to her. I'm just not personally a fan. But
Yeah, I kind of listened to a few songs on the album, but the songs I listened to were pretty good.
it's a solid album overall. It's just not my cup of tea. But I'm sure a lot of people love that. So yeah. All right. If no one has anything else. Oh, Billie Eilish was the only Grammy performer to not win an award. I did hear the performances were really good. That I did not watch them. I need to go watch them, but did hear the performances were really good. It was oh gosh, was it like Gracie Abrams, Billie Eilish? It must have been Beyonce. Then was one of the performers, and then Kendrick, and I think Chappell Roan might have been on there. But yep, I'm hearing yes. So, yeah, I will make sure to tune into the Grammys next year, and we'll see how the music in 2025 shakes up. If no one has anything else, we will switch over to our last point of conversation for this one, we have the NBA trade deadline, and the NBA will never be the same. Caden, what do you got for us?
I'm going to talk about the three main trades of the deadline, the three most important. To start with, the shocker, I think it was released at midnight and announced. Anthony Davis and Luka. I remember seeing that, and everybody thought Shams got hacked. And then we also got the De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs. And then we got the Jimmy Butler trade to the Warriors. My opinion on the Fox trade, I think it will just elevate Victor Wembanyama. I think he'll be a great player. And as far as the Butler trade, I don't see the Warriors still doing better. I just don't think that team's built good enough to just start winning games. I get because Jimmy's 35. He just signed an extension too. But I just don't see it happening. And I feel like Jimmy Butler, he's kind of ball dominant, but Curry can play off ball, so I guess that could work, but
Yeah, I don't. With the Jimmy Butler thing is he's a 35-year-old. He's the same exact player as Andrew Wiggins, who's much younger. And I think the Warriors, I mean, they got to go and try to make a move to win with Curry and Draymond. Their window's closing, but right now I just don't see that team going anywhere. They don't play well enough defense, and they don't rebound well enough. I get Jimmy Butler's a big defensive guy, but he's also a known locker room cancer paired with Draymond. We'll see how that works out. The AD and Luka trade was, I'd just say it was a deadline overall, but that was definitely the biggest trade. We'll see who wins it. I mean, the Lakers looked like they were going to build for the future, and they gave up their first-round pick, but I don't know. AD, if he stays healthy, I think the Mavericks, him and Kyrie stay on the court. I think they can be extremely deadly. That their defense definitely improved, and De'Aaron Fox is De'Aaron Fox. He's a great point guard, and Chris Paul's fading out, so they need another guy to feed Wemby the ball in the paint.
Yeah, you got Klay Thompson, you got AD. That could be a dangerous combo for the Mavericks. I think the Lakers definitely won it long term. I think the Mavericks you just don't trade people like Luka, like that top 5 player in the league. Like that'd be like, I saw a comparison. That'd be like the Chiefs trading Patrick Mahomes. That'd be like the Bills trading Josh. You just don't do it.
No, I saw more like comparison of it's like trading Joe Burrow for Dak Prescott.
But there's a lot of like rumors about how he is in the locker room, his work ethic when he was on the Mavericks, and how he was uncoachable. Like as we saw in the finals last year, he fouls himself out of the game and starts. You can see him verbally cursing out the bench for absolutely no reason. It was completely his fault. It was definitely a foul, and he's just out of shape. Doesn't play defense. I mean, you can score 30, but you give up 30. That's a even plus minus ratio.
I agree with what you're saying, but I just like there are a lot of NFL like Antonio Brown. Steelers really didn't want to, like, they could have very well traded it. He did eventually, yes, he did. But the last couple years of him being on the Steelers, they really wanted to trade him, and they didn't. And he did very well on the Steelers in the last couple years when he could have just kind of phoned it in. So I think the Mavericks definitely had a couple of years left for Luka. I think Luka. Yeah, it's gonna be obviously all trades are weird at the beginning. Like he's just always like. He's been the face of the Mavericks for so long, and then now it's just like there's no one really that's the face of the Mavericks anymore. It's a couple of good players that have really solid futures, but there's just not one centerpiece.
Yeah, but the thing with what the Mavericks GM was saying is he's not a championship player, and after the finals, everybody last year said he's not a championship player. Now all of a sudden he is a championship player because he goes to the Lakers. But that's how it is with every guy that gets traded to the Lakers.
I mean, I didn't think the Lakers were in. I didn't think the Lakers were
still in contention.
I don't think they are either. As much as I don't think the Lakers are in contention. Sorry, Caden.
The Western Conference is too stacked of a conference, and the Lakers aren't built.
Thunder, Celtics, Nuggets, like the Rockets, even the Grizzlies, all have, I think, better overall rosters.
Yeah,
more depth.
Not enough depth for the Lakers.
Yeah, they got 7-8 guys, and the Lakers just have LeBron and Luka now, and really nobody else. So we'll it's gonna be interesting. I think the dynamic between those two is gonna be really fun to watch for a while,
and it'll help LeBron to play off the ball more.
It will help LeBron to play off the ball.
It'll be hard to see LeBron with how old he is, how well he can cut back door and move. With his age.
Yes. As for the Jimmy Butler trade, obviously, Warriors fan, I'm not going to say much about it, but it's definitely, obviously, Curry needed some help after trading away Klay Thompson. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jimmy Butler could become that kind of second splash brother again. So we'll see what happens.
Well, my final piece on that deal, the Luka Anthony Davis deal, is just it's a win-win for both teams. Both teams get championship NBA Finals winning players.
He
I
didn't
think
win the finals.
I think Luka proved that he dragged that Mavs team to the finals. And I just think it's more of a future move for LA. They're going to start building around Luka instead of LeBron. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I overall don't really get the trade. I just don't really see, because those two players have built such a foundation for both the teams that they're on. And even like Mavs fans are in Dallas crying because Luka was supposed to have a statue, and Luka was just such a big player for the Mavs, and I'm just really interested to see how these teams are going to perform after the trade.
Paul George is a big player for the Thunder too. And now,
Yeah, this is true. I'm very excited to see. Like, we almost just flipped the league upside down over in the course of 2 or 3 days. So it will be very interesting to see how this dynamic plays out and who is going to be in contention, not just this year, but in the years to come. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Arlington Angle. Thank you all so much for watching. We will be back for episode 4 next Friday on February 14th. No, we will not. It's going to be Thursday because we don't have school Friday. I just remembered that. Going to be our Valentine-themed episode. We might touch on that. We might not. No. So, thank you all so much for watching. And this has been Colby with a K, Tim Halley, Jack Harden, and Caden Hope. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes. This has been the Arlington Angle. Signing off for now. Take care, everyone.